What's up, guys? Hades here. So I ended up finishing my season with Vex. We got third place and we played in the fourth match, which is actually pretty fun. Stats for the season, I did top the charts again. I was number 1 season 4 and I got number 1 season 5. Much closer this season. I had one game where I was absolutely experimenting and it was terrible and I didn't score any points. I will make sure my gap is even bigger next season. Anyways, this was a fun game. I want to walk you guys through a few highlights that I thought were important. It was an in-server match and we did decide to try our best at the start for practice and for cohesion and for coordination and see what happens, right? It was one of those games where we want to push ourselves to be better and put our all out there. I'm not going to go over the whole game. I'm mostly going to go over this beginning portion because both sides had to plan what to do. And I think SSQ didn't quite measure up to their plan. Also, we had a few rogue players still. I don't like relocations at Tower 4 in this location. As you can see here, these land so much sooner. He's going to be able to cancel anyone here he wants. Just really poor decisions. I'm pretty sure he could have canceled him if he wanted. Then he ends up taking some free hits. Middle looked pretty interesting. Big gaps here, big gaps here. A couple of fails really. But pretty neutral players in terms of number, so it was actually pretty fun. And then I, of course, was up here at the top. They did not send enough players here, and we actually wiped them really quick. This felt super clean. The communication here, after losing to Cubs, everyone realized we needed to get on the same page. We needed to be, up to par. And sometimes it takes a nice, important loss to realize this. But communication was awesome this game. I commanded Tower 1. Everyone was doing almost exactly what I said. I had rallies up, they were joined almost instantly. Targeting was perfect. Obviously, the numbers advantage made it very easy. But yeah, the communication was, rotate out as soon as we saw this was winning. There's no point in being here. This is a huge force to have. We want to win the middle, right? The middle is still neutral, and the point is, get it back to our advantage. And, honestly, pretty bad relocation from whoever was here. You have to go one back just so you can't get double blocked. Risky relocations here in the front. These are things that need to be fixed in the future. Either you have to have everyone defend it, or you just need to be a little further back. And these are those mistakes that keep happening in these matches. I talked about it in the finals match. A lot of players lacking some serious fundamentals, and it's very frustrating. You can see me here. I put my relocation in a place that was safe from harm on the enemies, right? And there is no way they could hit enough where I didn't have enough defense. Now, an interesting thing here is this player was 1v1ing my march. I was using a creative march, and that was kind of the point of this match. And you can notice I'm like, wow, I'm getting hit 1v1. I need to move, so I move over here, and then very smart by him, he moves behind me, and I actually have my screen like this, so I don't even see him. And that was a big mistake on my part because now I'm getting toasted from behind. I can't defend 1v1, so I have to use numbers advantage and rally tactics to try and get some free hits and then counter hit him as he hits me. And you can see, even if you have a worse build, there's still a chance to defend. I defended it once or twice. I get the rallies up. I'm throwing solos. Nothing's working. I'm trying to work with my teammate to get those rallies quickly. He's defending me instead of helping, and then he ditches me. And no one around here is actually like paying attention, and then 2 other people help. Then I think I moved again. Yeah, I moved back over here, right? I didn't want to deal with him. So I moved away, and then he moves back and then gets canceled, and now I'm safe, right? The whole goal was to continuously apply pressure while not losing solos to someone, right? I looked at his build and I'm like, oh, I don't have an answer to that. Even if I had made 3 presets, I just didn't have an answer. And then he stopped following me around, which was nice. We made a press to their home, which was, you know, the point of this was play your heart out and then just have some fun and play for fun. The big mistake we made here was actually taking all 5 towers. We discussed letting the match last longer to have more fun and, you know, practice rallies, practice solos, experiment with builds, this kind of thing. So we made a big mistake of taking a 5th one, and later in the match we actually, you know, where you're telling people stop taking it, we need to let them take it back. But it was very fun. I actually TP'd down here. I'm gonna go back just a little bit. We're talking about they're making a play at 4, and then we're talking about how many people descend, which is really important. This is something that a lot of teams have been failing with, is do not overcommit, but making sure you don't lose this for free, right? And so how many people do you need to defend it? Well, I TP down to match 4 versus 4, or actually 4 versus 5, but I knew that they were low, and I had a, oh, excuse me, we had that's ours. I actually didn't need to TP due to newbie going and winning solos, so this is actually kind of a bad TP. With this one landing soon, we were gonna hold this anyways. I should have waited for one more teleport from the opponent, but I end up just helping, cleaning it up quickly, and then rotating out. And then as they finish that up, I rotate here just for some fun, and the game is over at this point. But the main takeaways are, when you're in the start of a game and it's winning a position, right? Sometimes the enemy is not going to send their whole squad. You need to organize with your teammates to how can you most quickly and efficiently clear them, and then how many people need to leave. And this is a decision making process that has to be made in the heat of battle and by one voice. And a lot of teams I've been on recently with new commanders and stuff, it's been a little unclear and it needs to be specific. And this is something you have to talk about with your teams, what you should be doing. The second piece, when you do rotate, not to over rotate, right? So you need to decide with your team how many defenders should be at a tower. Is it 3, 4, 5, 8? You know, it's your choice, and there is no perfect number. There is no, you know, ideal number, because if you have too few here, it can be counterattacked, but the less you take, the more you have an option to take something else. But then the more vulnerable it is, right? So there's a give and take with how many you send and how many you don't send. Then the last piece is more the micro. When I'm here fighting and I realize I can't defend against someone, you have to figure out a plan of action. The plan of action can be moving to the other side, it can be moving back to waste their time. I misplay by not destroying this relocation. I was too focused on trying to clear the enemy that I left an opponent behind. And this is just a big noob mistake, right? No one saw it. It's my responsibility because I was closest. But these are all fundamental things that I think a lot of people still don't understand after 3 years in this game, that need to be drilled into the mind to play better. I hope we see some new reinvigorated teams in this next season. It should be really fun. I think there's a 5 or 6 solid servers with some top contenders here. Yeah, if you guys like these kind of videos, let me know in the comments below, and I can't wait to see you next season.